And welcome back to Metroid Prime Hunters, here on the Strategy Guides. I'm here to...
knock my boxer out.
Oh my. We're going back to the Celestial Archives to enjoy some of that smooth jazz.
Celestial Archives.
They archive the Celestial.
Boop.
And now, thanks to some new abilities that I have gained, I can go down here. Have I scanned one of these? Okay. I can go down here, kill this guy, jump way down here, and find a UA expansion. Plus Ultra. I'm thinking about doing the entire episode in this voice. I don't know why. I just feel like it.
Find something to do.
That's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to find something to do. Let's see.
Donut number 1. Donut number 2.
The donut is doing it number 2. Oh yeah. By the way, you would think with 8 octoliths, they would make 8 distinct locations for you to go to. But in reality, they just made 4, and you have to visit each location twice. However, the good news is that if you do things in the way they intend, then you'll be coming back to locations just around a time so that things don't get too repetitive. We haven't seen this place since our first go-through of the game. This music indicates that there's guardians nearby for me to fry with my power beam.
Get jumping all over the place.
Let's see how they take to a homing missile.
I like to think that they just panic when they see it. It's like, oh crap, it's Samus! Fire everywhere! Fire everywhere! I don't even know where to shoot! Ah! Though honestly, that'd be my reaction if Samus was coming for me.
Well, if they had just left Samus alone, she wouldn't have attacked them in the first place. But because they got in her way, she had to make their day.
I thought you were going to say she had to make them pay.
That too. Hey, shooting at me isn't very nice. Maybe I should get out my weapon of ice.
And then we'll cook some rice.
Oh wow, that ice just straight up murdered that guy. Cool.
Open the door.
Now we jump on fan blades made of energy. Because that's how fans work.
Does this fan ever use, or does it just looks like fans?
It just looks like fans. And the scan log says that they are. But remember, this place is old.
Fan's not running. For crying out loud, Jimmy, it is roasting in here. We gotta get those giant fan blades going. I think that'd be a safety hazard, sir.
Oh, did you hear that the guy that was making the Guardians of the Galaxy movies is been fired?
Yeah, because of some offensive post he made years ago that he apologized for. Yeah,
Although, to be fair, when you're I mean, I'm not for, like, deplatforming people and shit, but, that's not really deplatforming, though. They didn't take away his post, but it's kind of like, on the one hand, he technically has the right to do it, but on the other hand, he's kind of representing Disney.
He wasn't back then. That was from years ago.
Yeah.
And also, the people that,
Oh, Vault Driver found! You've obtained the Vault Driver. This weapon draws energy from the planetary electromagnetic field and converts it into multi-terawatt bursts of high voltage.
I want to see it.
Wait. Planetary field? But I'm not even on a planet. Bazap.
Oh. I thought it was gonna be... I don't know.
That's the weapon that Candon used back in the first episode. It's his affinity weapon. I need this weapon in order to get further into this place. Now, as you were saying about the Guardians of the Galaxy controversy...
But yeah, it's just... The thing that's annoying about Disney giving in was... It was a mob mentality. It was like, we're a whole bunch of people! He did this good! Fire him! And they're like, okay, he's fired. Like, oh! Okay! I guess...
I wish Disney would fire Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah! That would be sweet.
The Last Jedi is the most disappointing thing since my son.
He actually just did. He actually just released his...
I watched it. The one thing that I didn't like about that review, though, is the way he talked about people who defend the prequels, because he basically just strawmanned their arguments. And he really did.
Whoa.
And the thing is that his fan base seems to be so blind that they can't even see or acknowledge that he did that. Although the review for the movie was still pretty good.
It's like, I think I might set out the next movie.
Yeah, I don't blame him, to be honest with you. And as many people have pointed out, that was not Luke Skywalker.
Also, they really shouldn't have hired a director with not that much experience.
You know, people like to blame J.J. Abrams in his mystery boxes because he set up all these mysteries but had, like, nothing planned for them. But in his defense, since they had no real plan for the trilogy and were... You know what? Because they had no plan for the trilogy, you know what it's like?
What?
It's kind of like, and yeah, I know, I said I was going to do the whole episode like this, and now I'm breaking that. Oh well, whatever. But, you know how, like, when you do, say, like, a role play on a roleplay forum or something, and, you come up with part of the story, and, analyst indicates that the blast shield is pervious to most weapons, high voltage weapon, damage it. And it was like, you come up with part of the story, and then the next person types out something else that piggybacks off of what you wrote, writing the next part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how they were going to do this new Star Wars trilogy. The orange blaze shall die away to be reborn on wings of blue smoke. Olympic Prophecy number 5. Prophecy number 5.
You know what that's like? That's like playing a game of telephone.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're passing it, just like J.J. Abrams whispers into the next director's ears, Rey has a mysterious origin, and Luke is going to train her. It's like, okay, I got Rey doesn't have a mysterious origin, and Luke is going to be a whiny baby. Okay, got it. It's like, that's not what I said!
But, unlike a game of telephone, what he set up is proudly on display for anyone to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Rian Johnson has admitted that he wrote the script for The Last Jedi before seeing the final treatment of Force Awakens.
Wow. Well,
but, you see, the mystery boxes are a good setup because any decent director with good writing chops could have taken that and built upon it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He literally laid the foundation for others to build off of, and if they had any sort of competency, well,
like, I just can't get past the honest trailer for The Last Jedi. Because it's such a better movie.
I found I found somebody who you remember the one guy who did like the prequels, like, what if such and such was good? I mean, really good. I found somebody who did something similar with Last Jedi on YouTube. The video is called The Lost Jedi. And it's like an alternative telling of episode 8. Oh, new version of a Psycho Bit.
I love how Luke can Mark Hamill is basically telling everyone what he thinks of how Luke is portrayed, or I guess betrayed might be a better
Betrayal!
But how, like, in all the interviews, you can kind of get that he's saying he hated the way Luke was.
Yeah, but he's saying it in a passive-aggressive kind of way because Disney's holding his paycheck and he doesn't want to piss off the people in power.
And it's kind of sad because Han felt like Han in Force Awakens.
Oh, did you watch the video I linked you to talking about how Rey is a Mary Sue? And it actually breaks down what a Mary Sue is by definition, and then he's like, I've watched The Force Awakens and made a list of everything she does that would fit this description and to see if it's really accurate or if people are just, complaining for no reason. And it's like, oh wow. Oh wow, indeed.
We should just call this episode The Strategy Guides Complain About Star Wars for this many minutes.
And now, we shall complain about Star Wars for the duration of Star Wars.
It's like, you know what? Not only... I'd say that The Last Jedi is a very split movie in more ways than one. Because in one way, it split the fan base pretty much. You can tell that just by looking at the Rotten Tomato reviews. And in another way, because...
I'm supposed to shoot the switches, not scan them. I'm sorry. I'm used to Metroid games where I have to scan shit and not shoot shit.
Because, it's split because, like, half the ideas are kind of good in that movie. It's like, some of the ideas and some of the scenes are really good. It's just, when you put it all together...
And the execution, and then Poe Dameron makes a Your Mama joke to the...
That was like, at the time, my reaction to that was like, I thought, that's something funny for Poe to do, but I'm thinking, is this really a Star Wars movie? Like, yeah, there was like, characters would joke and, make light of harsh situations in Star Wars, but this doesn't seem like a scenario where they do that in a regular Star Wars movie.
Also, people were like, what's with the slow-ass bump? Where's the Y-Wings?
Yeah, let's bring in these giant slow-ass, easy-to-target bombers that take forever to drop their bombs.
Now, some people have complained that, how are the bombs dropping in space? Somebody actually did explain how that is possible because the ship was around a planet, and so the drop trajectory would use the planet's own gravity because they're close enough to the planet for its gravity to still affect the bombs.
My question about that, inside those bombers, is there artificial gravity?
Yes.
Because if you dropped a bomb into space from an artificial gravity location, wouldn't it just keep going?
Technically, yes.
Once it went into space?
Technically, yes.
So yeah, that's kind of what I assumed was happening with that. Because its momentum from falling would just keep it falling.
Yes. But that was something people had a problem with. People also have a problem with Vice Admiral gender studies, as somebody likes to call her.
Boop. It's like Poe Dameron being left in the... It's like, you were demoted. Yeah, but he's still, like...
Saved your asses?
But not only that, he's still got a fairly decent ranking going on. And not to mention, she should have shared her plan with, like...
Everyone?
Other people.
So that they're... And her plan was just continuing with the plan Leia already set out, which was known by everyone at the time, so it's like...
Why does Poe not know this?
No. It's like Poe already knew Leia's plan, but because you have a new person in charge, it's like, well, is she going to continue with Leia's plan, or is she going to do something else now? You know what I mean? She should have just been like, we're sticking with what Leia already set up, and it's like, oh, okay.
Nah, he didn't know about Leia's plan. He didn't even know that until Leia told him herself later in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen the movie.
I know you haven't seen the movie.
I'm just going off of what I've heard other people say.
But so it's even stupider now because he didn't know the plan. That's why everyone complains about it. And that's why it's so dumb. Also, I like what Pickett brought up about how them being chased through space and running low on fuel was kind of something that happens in Star Trek.
Crash Pillar, highly pleasing to Olympic aesthetics. This century cyborg is dormant until senses an intruder and returns to a dormant state once the threat retreats. Crash Bandapillar. Crash Pillar Coot levitates by means of anti-gravity propulsion before attempting to smash its quarry vulnerable. You shoot it from underneath.
Yeah. But, okay, and here's another thing. Oh no, they're just... The rebels are staying just ahead of us so that we can't hit them with our main ship. What happened to TIE fighters?
I guess they don't want to send them out.
We couldn't do a smart move in this movie.
Well, of course they can't because they're being commanded by a man.
Oh, dang. We're good. If anyone watches this, I wonder if they're going to complain in the comments. Let's just put it this way. Star Wars is a bloody mess right now.
Bloody Mary mess.
And after the Star Wars prequels, I thought we were past this.
I think one thing that kept the prequels in some favor with people is that... Actually, it wasn't The Last Jedi review that Plinkett strawman people defending the prequels. It was the Force Awakens review where he did that.
But didn't he also say, but in some ways,
Well, fuck.
Yeah, I was wondering because he had no tanks left.
This game works on a checkpoint system.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But yeah, like one thing Plinkett said about the prequels that was nice was that at least George Lucas had an original vision he wanted to bring to the screen with the prequels.
Yeah. An original vision that doesn't portray Star Wars, I should note. And he doesn't attack the fans. Mm-hmm. He doesn't say, like, well, if you don't like it, it's because you're all these negative things and this, that, and the other thing, and I'm just going to completely ignore any actual criticism you have.
I do love George's reaction to the initial, like, the first viewing of episode 1, where it's like, I might have gone too far.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't think Rian Johnson has ever apologized. He like doubles down on his movie, and he does not apologize to the fans for possibly having made a mistake. Like, George at least seems like he admits, okay, yeah, I kind of fucked up with the prequels. You know what I mean? And I think people can sort of get behind that more. People now are like, in hindsight, I may not have liked the prequels, but at least George didn't attack the fans and all that.
Oh. It's like I sold Star Wars to white slavers. Yeah, he sold Star Wars to Disney. I mean, white slavers. Yeah, don't apologize for Oh gosh, it's like a dang comedy. The status of Star Wars is like a dang comedy at this point, and I don't mean because the jokes are funny in the movies.
People were saying it felt like Marvel humor, except I think Marvel humor lands better. Speaking of landing...
Ah, that guy was trying to land on your head.
Yep.
Okay, I figure I'll do Ghouls and Ghosts after these episodes. Just to get it out of the way, Because unlike every other thing we're recording today, I'm not entirely sure how long it's going to take.
After these episodes.
After these episodes. After these episodes. Dun, dun.
I am as depleted.
Dang, this room is messing you up. Does it usually give you this much trouble?
I'm entering the harder parts of the game now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs! Oh, dang.
Ow. I killed a generator. Didn't our whole Star Wars diatribe start from me talking about Guardians of the Galaxy and Disney?
Oh, yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy is a better Star Wars movie.
Oh, gosh. That's kind of funny when you think about it, because it's like, okay, we're going to make sure that these people that are messing up Star Wars stay in power. Oh, James Gunn, he's just done such a fantastic job. He said some bad things at one point. Fire his ass! Though, honestly, that is how Disney's always been. They will not keep people hired if they've done stuff like this.
Ooh, at least these guys are dropping large health pickups.
Of course, the entire cast of Guardians of the Galaxy came out in support of James Gunn.
Pew pew. But
I'll say this much though, and if Guardians 3 ends up being any less of a movie than the first two, well, we'll know who to blame for it. And if it does turn out to be not great of a movie, we'll just think, what would Guardians 3 have been like if James Gunn had made it? I'm thinking it'll probably be at least a decent movie, because when has Marvel made a movie that's not at least good in the past few years?
I was going to say Iron Man 3, but even... You know what? Even Iron Man 3, I think, ended up doing better than...
Also, Iron Man 3 was a while ago. I think they really hit their stride after Iron Man 3. Or maybe after Thor Dark World. The last really not that great Marvel movies I remember are Iron Man 3 and Thor Dark World, and neither of those came out recently.
And you know what? Thor Dark World, in my opinion, wasn't even that bad.
It wasn't. I especially enjoyed the part with the portals. Think with portals.
Speaking of portals. Portals. Nothing more than portals.
Portals, portals, portals.
Oh, fuck. Damn it. I fell. Where's a ramp when you need one?
Ramp.
Oh, I watched Red Letter Media's Best of the Worst on the Star Wars Holiday Special.
I haven't watched that yet.
And that was a two-parter. The first part, they after the halfway point, they kind of got off track and started talking about whatever else. And then it's like, did you know there was a Star Wars Holiday Special? It's like, what? It's like, we watched it like an hour ago.
I like that, in The Last Jedi, he's like, The Last Jedi is a bigger disappointment than my son. No, not that one. My son, Ryan Johnson!
The Last Jedi is in Motivity. The galaxy is fucked. Oh, wait a minute. Was I supposed to... Oh, I fucked up. I done fucked up.
I mean, I think...
You know what? I'll continue this in the next episode.
Right. How long is this? Like
Just 30 minutes.
Okay. See you next time.
It'd be a little bit shorter if I didn't die, but I died, so... Bye.
I was just